Hey guys, welcome to my channel, It's Comfy. So every Friday, I'm gonna try and upload a short video that will be a fun fact, either about speech, language, swallowing, or even head and neck anatomy. This is because I'm a first year Masters of Speech Pathology student, and I think it would be kind of cool to share something that I've learned or either researched in my own time to the rest of you guys. I'm hoping to call this series Speech Fact Fridays. So let's get started on episode 1. So have you ever been in a conversation and you're talking and then you go to try and say a word and for whatever reason you just can't remember what it is, but you know the exact word that you're trying to say? So you're just standing there being like, you know what I mean? And the word just cannot come to you. And if you're someone like me who sometimes makes outlandish conclusions, you're probably thinking, is this early onset dementia? The answer is no. This is what they call tip of the tongue phenomenon, or phenomena. Tomato, tomato. So there was a paper written by Roger Brown and David McNeil that talk about the ways that we actually get to the point of recovering that word. Now, the reason that I said their whole name is because I'm currently in the process of hopefully being a part of a journal article. And I would like to think that if that paper finally gets published and someone 60 years later decides to read it, that they won't just include me as an et al., but they will say Comfort Hopkins. So Brown and McNeil determined that there was a process that you could use to remember the word that you're trying to say, which is called generic recall. Now, generic recall is either remembering parts of the word or the attributes of the word to remember the word that you are actually trying to say. For example, the other day I was trying to remember the word. No, I did not swear, but I want to give you the opportunity to try and guess what I'm trying to say. But I could not remember it for the life of me, but I could remember both parts of the word and attributes. So when I was having this conversation with my husband, I said, engineers who are, it's like a subcategory of engineers, and it's a really popular term, and they start with the letter C. Can you guess what it is?
Hi, I'm Zara. What's your name?
Civil. I was trying to say the word civil, but I could not remember it. I knew the attributes of the word, so I knew that it was a subcategory of the engineering field, and I knew it was a common one, and I knew part of the word. I knew that the word started with a C, but I just couldn't remember the middle part. Brown and McNeil called this the unfavored part, which was often forgotten, which was either the middle or the end of words. Now, Brown and McNeil also divided generic recall into 3 parts. The first was abstract generic recall. This is when if someone says a word that is kind of similar, but as long as it has the same syllables and stress, you could kind of come to the word. This was less often to result in actual word retrieval. The second is partial generic recall. This is when someone says a word where the letters in the word that they say and the word that you're trying to get to are kind of similar, and often they either share like the same beginning sound or the same ending sound. And lastly was the generic recall, where if someone says a similar word that has similar shape, sound, and similar-ish meaning, then it makes it the easiest to remember what you're trying to say. Now, there are many theories out there to explain exactly what's happening in our brain. There are some who suggest that our brain forcibly puts those words that we only use sometimes in the back and we purposely inhibit it. Other people just say it's just like a glitch in the matrix sort of thing with our brain. Either way, there hasn't been a really clear theory or explanation about why our brain does this when we're trying to speak, particularly as young people. In older adults, it's more linked to other diagnoses like Alzheimer's or dementia or any other neurodegenerative disease that affects cognition. So yeah, that is your speech fact for this Friday. Phenomenon. It's called the tip of the tongue phenomena.